Hello and welcome to the Mindset Bloomcast with Mallory. I am your host, Mallory McGary. I am the founder and CEO of Beautifully Blooming. You can find me at beautifully blooming.com or email me at mallory@beautifully blooming.com. You are listening to the WGSN-DB Going Solo Network radio, TV, and podcast, the number one internet talk network. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Today I am so happy about today's show. I've done some pretty good research into today and realized a few things that as fall is coming. I mean, our last episode was about September being the new January and how it is kind of a reset as we get into a new routine from coming back from school. It's been long enough since January that it feels like some of those changes that we're making from in life and routine are just starting over. We're recommitting somewhat to some of those New Year's resolutions that we had in January and trying to integrate those into a new routine as we've started into this fallish back to school season. And so today's topic is if mama ain't happy. And I actually got this from the title of the show today from a title of a book that I saw and I've just reflected on that for the last little bit and how true that is. The statement I'm sure we've all heard throughout our lives of happy mom or a happy wife, happy life, happy mom, happy life type of thing. And in a weird way, I've kind of come to just notice this in my own life as I've talked about this specific, as I've had this with the floating around in my brain, that the days that I'm not feeling maybe A plus, or that I'm just kind of feeling like I'm going through the daily motion, the daily grind, and not really feeling um, the excitement and the passion that I have for my life, that it stems down that my kids seem to act out a little bit more, um, or seem to be a lot more clingy, that they just are trying to fill up that cup, that my marriage and relationships kind of just seem like it feels like a little bit like I'm walking on eggshells at times. But when I am happy and when things I feel like I'm on my A game and really going through life as it should be, as fully enjoying my life, that things seem a lot simpler. It is a lot easier to just get tasks done. It's easier to have hard conversations. It's easier to kind of have the ups and downs of your daily life, right? I have a 3-year-old and a 1-year-old, so the ups and downs that you go through all day long, that negotiation and everything like that, with them, that it seems a little bit more that I'm more patient, that I'm more empathetic to what they're going through. And friends of mine, the same thing. You have more patience, um, more empathy to what they're going through. And in a weird way, if I'm happy and I'm feeling like I'm doing all I can, I'm doing a great job, that I'm really crushing it, that my confidence level goes up and my self-esteem level goes up. And in some ways, that is how it all comes together. So if mama ain't happy, then no one's really happy. There's so much that's happening around you, that as moms that we've got to take on, house house chores, working if you are working, stay-at-home moms just balancing everybody's schedules, every mom balancing everybody's schedule, balancing your own personal time with your family time and what that looks like and where all of that ends up sitting. And it can weigh down on you at different times. Some can say it's a full moon effect. If that fits around the time that you feel these things, sometimes it's you're seeking validation from other people and you're not getting what you need out of it. You're not getting that boost of confidence that you're wanting from those people around you. Or maybe it's just you just need to rely on somebody else for a minute, to just their confidence in you and their belief in you, to keep going, to keep pushing through whatever it is that you're going through, because we all are going through something. We are all in a phase of life, different seasons, different experiences. Our life backgrounds are a little bit different. Sure, there are some things that are happening to all of us around the world, even down to minuscule things, but some are happening to us and some are happening inside of our our homes, our experiences in our own selves. Even some of us might be shutting down dreams and ideas that we've had because right now it may seem that it's not feasible to do those things. It may seem that it's taking a risk on yourself and you're not ready for that risk. That risk for yourself is just a little bit too hard, or you're not ready to commit to that. That change is hard. We've talked about it in a couple episodes in on this show of that change is hard. Change is not made to make you feel comfortable. Change is made to make you feel uncomfortable. Change is made to help you grow and to learn something. And it's all about how you embrace that change and embrace the things that come with it. If you go into change with an open mind, an open heart, and willing to accept and learn and grow, that accept that it's happening, learn from it, grow from it, become step it up, level up one more level in your life, level up to a new outlook, a new perspective, new confidence in what's happening, then change, yes, it's uncomfortable, but you're taking it on with a mindset of I'm becoming a better, a stronger, a more confident person that I need to be for whatever else is coming. I've learned through my life that one life is not just a one-time change, that once you go through it, then you could that's it. That's all you're going to do. That it's a constant in my life, constantly given to me by outside influences, also constantly influenced by the things that I want to try and accomplish in my life and different scenarios that happen within my life. Of maybe it's people in your life that help fuel that change. People that maybe it's a job change, maybe it's a desire to start a business. That's what I do, that's what I did, and I help other moms start a business, create their own income, to maybe step away from a 9 to 5 job or feel like they're, that person that they wanna be, that they have something of their own. And if mom's not happy, then it's something we've gotta find what makes mom happy in there, and that's part of what I do is help find that passion, find that what you like to do. We've talked about a couple episodes ago with my friend Holly Hartman about solo dating and finding those things that you're passionate about and finding those things you really want to talk about. A current trend, maybe not current trend, but trending on TikTok and Instagram right now is that quote from Mean Girls is 80% of the time you want somebody to bring up something else so you can talk about it more. And then the other 20% of the time, you're waiting for them to mention it again because you want to keep talking about it. That is what your passion is. That's what that zest for your life is. That is what is going to make you happy. Those are the things that fill up your cup in having those things that really make you feel like you are validated. You're validating yourself somewhere in a life a little bit. I think at different seasons we're looking from validation from people around the space that you're in, around you're wanting people to feel like to tell you you belong, that you matter to them, that you are kind of boost up your confidence a little bit. So I'll give you an example. I have I had this experience a couple weeks ago, and having this experience has really brought a lot of reflection in my life because I'm glad that the person that called me out on it called me out on it. And it really brought to the forefront of some of the things that I've been thinking. There's a place that I don't feel like I necessarily fit in all the time, that I feel like I don't belong, that I'm not really validated in being there, being a part of that group, that it's is always it just kind of feels like I'm an afterthought. And it's one of those, like, "Oh, we're all going out as friends, and, oh, you can come along, like, we're all going, but I guess we'll invite you," type of a feeling. And it goes in seasons, to be completely honest, it goes in seasons, in this feeling that there are times that it doesn't feel like that and times that it does, and it's a kind of an intricate dance, that I'm trying to play with this situation of how do I combat that? And once I think I've gotten part of it down, then it changes, the situation changes a little bit, that dance changes, and I can't quite get I've gotta find a find that groove that I've been in, and trying to combat those feelings of not feeling like I'm wanted or needed or really important to this group. And I sometimes make comments that will seem like they're self-deprecating or whatnot, and they can come across that way. But it's my way of protecting myself. It's my own defense mechanism. And I was called out on it by a member of this group, and I've kind of sat on it for the last little bit, and really delved into the fact that it is what I do when I feel like I'm not really wanted in a space. That I'm that afterthought of, "Oh, I get we'll just bring you along because we kinda have to," or that I'm not really wanted in that space. And that was something that really opened up my world as I was thinking about this as well, if mama ain't happy topic, that if I don't feel like I fit, I'm not gonna be happy. And if I feel like I'm not wanted, it is a domino effect in my life of maybe my family doesn't want me, maybe my clients don't really want me, maybe it just kind of is a domino effect, when in all actuality it's me trying to reframe the situation, in taking that situation and reframing it in my mind to be able to do that intricate dance. And I think it's an intricate dance that all of us play do throughout our lives, is that you think you've finally found your group, your team, and something changes and something switches it up, and now it's time to start that dance again. Or maybe the dance changes and you've got to refigure out this framework. Maybe somebody else new gets added in a friend group or a family group, whatever that looks like, and you've got to reframe that dance. And it's something that has been something I've observed in myself over the last little bit of and reflection of saying, why would I do that? Because knowing that I know differently in my mind, that maybe there are times that I'm not wanted, and that's okay. But when I know that deep down somewhere I am wanted, and that why am I shutting myself down? Why am I shutting down my self-confidence? And so take that as step number one. Um, I wasn't intending on a whole bunch of steps this episode, but step number one, evaluate what makes you feel like, if you're in a situation like that, what makes you feel that way? Or how can we reframe that dance? How can we reframe that thinking, instead of saying, well, if this group doesn't like me, then this group doesn't, and this group doesn't, and this group doesn't, and go down that never ending spiral of, now I'm pretty much nobody wants me, which is not true. You're wanted by everybody around you. You're wanted by your friends, your family, your children, your coworkers, everything that you have to offer the world, you are wanted. It just might be a season where you might feel that way for a minute, because you are going through some change. You are going through stepping into an uncomfortable moment, and you thought that the backup doesn't feel like it's there, that safety net, that your support group isn't really there to hold you together as you're stepping into this new season of change. So to combat part of that is let them know that you're going through a season of change. Let them know you need their backup. Let them know you need them as your safety net, your security in going for what it is that you're really trying to go for. Maybe it is starting a business. Maybe it is trying to quit a habit. Maybe it's just trying to find kind of your own groove in life, finding out who you are. Whatever that is, tell them about it, create that, allow them into the space that you're changing, that you're stepping into in that space. And don't be hurt if somebody calls you out on it of why you may be acting differently or saying some things that don't normally come out, because it will lead to good reflection and help you reframe that intricate dance and start dancing the new pattern that's in there. So evaluate where you're at. I guess now step number 2, I need to do steps more often, is getting some dopamine. I learned this from a mentor of mine. I've heard of him say it a few times, but today it really struck a chord as I was thinking about reflecting on some of the mentorship calls that we've had. And he explains it as get a D on every test. That to get that dopamine fix, to get that uh, that hormone to go through your body. It's a great hormone to have. I didn't realize how great it was until I've put this into practice over the last few months. That it is dopamine is the hormone that is responsible for allowing you to feel pleasure, satisfaction, and motivation. So you get that release of that dopamine when you've done something, you've achieved something, you have that motivation that you're going towards something. You get that surge of dopamine in your body, and who doesn't love the feeling of satisfaction when you've achieved something? Who doesn't love that when you've aced a test, or you've for all of us moms, when you have your laundry done in the same day you actually did it, like it went from washer to dryer to folded, and you get done and you give yourself a high five, and you feel that satisfaction, just like I did that. Maybe it's cleaning your house, maybe it's a giant project you're working on, and you finish little bits and pieces of it, and you're like, I did that, I accomplished that. And we look at goals and life as one big thing that you have to go from A to Z. And if you don't reach Z in either a certain amount of time, or you just don't reach it at all because paths converge and whatnot, that you failed and you can't, like, that's it. You're never going to succeed. That's it. And that's not the case. We are going for it and doing it. Celebrate from going to from A to B, B to C, and so on and so forth. Celebrate the little victories, because for me, starting my business, I have not gone from A to Z. I've gone from A to L, back to B, down to Z, back to F, then over to E, and all over the place. It never was consistent in going exactly the way that I wanted it to. It had the changes in it. I went through the motions of I went through the growth pattern and the changes of having the different creation periods of my business, and allowed it to be that way. And it's the best it's been so far. It's my favorite version of my business, and it's going to keep growing. It will keep growing, but it is my favorite version right now. But I celebrated every step along the way. I didn't get discouraged when it didn't go in order, because it wasn't meant to go in order. The way that I work was not meant to go in that order. And that's perfectly fine. That's something that you take into account. Whatever it is that you are going through to get that dopamine, make sure that you're celebrating it along the way. If it is that you have a house that you're looking at going, I need to clean this. Today, I vacuumed, celebrate that. Tomorrow, you did laundry, celebrate that. Whatever that looks like, big projects, celebrate the small pieces of that project that you're doing, because that surge of dopamine is what's going to keep you continuing going forward. It's going to keep you on that path to making bigger strides. Celebrate the little bits of changes as you're in a season of change. I think everybody's kind of going through a season of change at the moment with the seasons changing, let alone just with trying to figure out a new flow to life that is good, bad, otherwise, whatever that looks like in your life. But celebrate the changes, celebrate your adjustments, celebrate your ability to adapt in those and grow from those. Take that and grow. So, step number two, get some dopamine in what that looks like. We are going to take a quick break for commercials, but we're going to continue talking about ways to become happy if mama ain't happy. You are listening to the Mindset Bloomcast with Mallory. I am your host, Mallory McGary. I am the founder and CEO of Beautifully Blooming. You can find me at beautifullyblooming.com or email me at mallory@beautifullyblooming.com. You are listening to the WGSN-DB Going Solo Network radio, TV, and podcasts, the number one internet talk network. And we'll be right back. Welcome back to the Mindset Bloomcast with Mallory. I am your host, Mallory McGary. I am the founder and CEO of Beautifully Blooming. You can find me at beautifullyblooming.com or email me at mallory@beautifullyblooming.com. You are listening to the WGSN-DB Going Solo Network radio, TV, and podcast, the number one internet talk network. Welcome back to our episode about if mama ain't happy. We're talking about ways for mom to find happy again, because if mama ain't happy, the house ain't happy. We talked about in the first part of this episode the two ways to find happy again: accepting change, being willing to look at the things that you feel like you're not fitting in and look at what that looks like, whether it's outside or inside, and to gain some dopamine, get that spurt of motivation from hormones in our body, because that's what they're here for. And to go along with that dopamine, it kind of goes without saying, but endorphins make people happy, as they say on Legally Blonde and pretty much everywhere. Is that endorphins make you happy. So getting some form of endorphins is going to help increase that happiness in your day, in those moments that you may not feel it. A lot of the easiest way is to obviously exercise, but what I've also found is just take some time to move. Whatever movement looks like to you. Maybe it's playing with your kids and running around and imaginative play, or having a dance party in your kitchen as you're making dinner, something of that sort. Taking a walk. It doesn't have to be strenuous exercise or anything like that. It doesn't even have to look like exercise. Just get up and move. Get that body flowing, get your muscles moving. That's what increases your endorphins, releases endorphins, and helps with other hormone production as well, such as dopamine, because you've now done something that you've achieved. So you're feeling that satisfaction and pleasure and that motivation. So now you've got two double hormones making you happy at that moment. So I encourage you to start to do some movement for at least 30 minutes, whatever movement looks like to you. Maybe it's stretching, whatever it looks like to you, because everybody defines it differently. But coming back to if mama ain't happy, it's hard sometimes as a business owner to find that balance of being happy as a mom and being happy as a business owner, because they come together, they go hand in hand in a weird way, that maybe something in your business is not necessarily going right, or you can't figure it out, or you have a tough client or a tough project coming up, that it can leak over into your personal life, and that it becomes something, it's just a sticking point of making you feel just grumbly. You don't really want to talk about it, but you need to talk about it to get it out of your system. You're not really fulfilled in that project. You're not really fulfilled in that role. You're not really fulfilled with that client. You don't, it's just a whole lot of things are happening at that moment. And allowing that to kind of creep in is then creates again that domino effect of to your family and different relationships. But when we focus on getting those things that make us happy and taking that time to refill up that cup, to reflect and review what is going on, and to take a step back and look at it from a different perspective, allowing ourselves to grow, allowing ourselves to change and adapt into that situation, that we're going to be happier. We're going to find that our confidence in whatever that is going to go up. Our self-esteem is going to go up. We're going to find different support groups that will help just give us that safety net as we're going through this season of change, that season of growth in whatever part that you're growing in. Not all growth is physical growth. Not all growth is emotional growth, spiritual growth, and or mental growth. That we all grow differently at different times in each of those journeys and each of those spaces, that we need to foster each of those as well. That maybe we're happy physically with the things that we have on the outside, but emotionally we're not doing okay, we're struggling, or mentally it's we're having a really rough go. Spiritually we may be looking for some things that we're just not quite getting that answer for, and we need to have that ability to find that space that's safe for us to express and move forward into the things that are coming for you, because what is coming is great and it's going to be such a huge blessing. But the roadblocks of getting over some of those humps seem like they're really hard to get over. But finding the little pieces that make you happy throughout this journey and these seasons of change, whatever vein it happens to flow into, still a season of change. We're still growing. So to find the things that bring you joy and make you happy are going to give you the motivation uh, for to keep going, to keep progressing, and allowing that to keep coming. So celebrating the little wins along the way is huge. In that, getting the endorphins is huge. Finding your support group, allowing them to kind of call you out when you're not really acting yourself, and really trying to dig into what that looks like. And most importantly, change does not come overnight. I wish I could say that change happened instantly. There are times I wish it did, as I'm sure there are times that you wish it happened instantly, that it happened overnight, that you just told yourself, okay, I'm going to change that, and done overnight, and that it's never been an issue again. And it's just not that way. Sadly, life likes to teach us some lessons, and we have to accept that we're going to learn some lessons within a season of change. Seasons may be short or long, depending on the change you're going through, but allowing that to stretch us and grow us is what makes us what makes us better off in the long run, what makes us happier. So finding the happy in whatever season or part of the season you're in is important, that you find some time that's just for you. And maybe it is starting a side hustle. Maybe you want to go full fledged into a business. Maybe you have an idea and you want to start you were very crafty and want to start an Etsy shop where you have things you can offer there. Go for it. Go for it. Allow your creativity to flow. Allow your dreams to flourish. Allow yourself to find the thing that truly brings you joy and will help keep you grounded in what that looks like and keep you stable as you're going through change. That's kind of a constant that will still fill up your cup no matter where you sit. If you're the highest of highs and the lowest of lows, that it still fills up your cup. I have a few of those that I do all the time, and running my business is one of them. Talking to my clients is one of them. Helping my clients build businesses is one of the things that really fills up my cup. It makes me so happy. It's either in the highest of highs or the lowest of lows that I get that full satisfaction from being in the experience. Sorry, you've got my little guys yelling and telling a story. Part of being a working mom, working at home, is that you've got little ones running around, and that's my business. There are times that clients are on calls with me, and you see them come in and out, and what that looks like. So, welcome to transparency. Welcome to my business. But those are the things that fill up my cup, is helping clients build businesses, is helping clients grow and find that change and feel comfortable in that change, feel the place that they really feel like they are taking off, setting those foundations in having not only a strong business, but having a really strong life. That those foundations that help create in my program are the foundations that have twofold. They are for a business foundation, but what goes into your business foundation also is part of a personal foundation. So you're going to have both of those going on one, double layered, that you're never stuck questioning how you feel about something, or that you feel about different spaces in your life, that you can handle that change, that you know the things that you're really built upon, what those core values are, what those pillars are that you stand strong on, your why for whatever it is that you're doing. Why is this change happening? And moving forward, finding that mission and purpose for your life. That is what really drives me and brings me so much happiness and joy, along with going to experience the theater. I'm a huge patron of the arts. I love the arts, and experiencing that in its entirety is something that really brings me joy. But it is something that I do share, but other times it's something that's just for me and really just fills up my cup. And those are things that you focus on as you go through different seasons, of finding those things that make you happy because they ground you into who they are. I really also really enjoy being outside in the grass in my bare feet. And that is something that will keeps me grounded, but it makes me happy. And I'm going to continue doing those things regardless of if I'm at the highest of highs or the lowest of lows, because they fill up my cup. They keep me happy, which then in turn makes everybody in my house happy and moving forward. So the things that you are doing, write them down. Go back a couple of episodes and listen to the one I did with my friend Holly Hartman, talking about solo dating, finding, and I talked about it in the last episode as well. September is the new January, of writing down those things that you liked to do, you currently like to do, and that you want to do, and building the foundation on top of that and what that looks like. Finding those things that bring you joy, bring you passion, and really lift up your heart. Because we all know that if mama ain't happy, house isn't happy. And everybody wants a happy mom. Everybody wants a happy life. And most of all, mom wants a happy mom as well. So thank you so much for listening to today's episode. Go through and listen, take down the tips, and also jump into if you are starting a business, maybe you feel like your business has fallen off the ground, maybe it's just life, whatever you're kind of feeling off that, jump onto my 60-day hard challenge where there are 5 things to do every day. It's for an entrepreneur, but you can do it as a mom as well. Of the 5 things to do every day for 60 days is to make a post a day, to share your offer once a day. So if you're doing it as just a life kind of journey, share something you've learned that day, giving yourself a compliment, finding 20 minutes to yourself per day, and moving for at least 30 minutes. On top of that, you'll get the workbook for it, you'll get a little tracker, and we're going to jump in together. We're going to do it all together as we start this new season, ending 2022 strong, going into 2023 really strong, and moving forward. You can find all of that at Beautifully Blooming, and also you can find anything about my program, which is called the Leading Lady Formula, which helps you start that business that you're dreaming of and stepping into your life as as the leading lady. As they say on the holiday, you're supposed to be the leading lady in your own life, and that's what I'm here to help you do. Through the Leading Lady Formula, you will start building that foundation for your business, not only for your business, but for your life. And you'll leave that program having your business started with your first 90 days of everything set up, your offer 100% secured, your mission statements, your core values, everything that you need to have a strong brand and business foundation you will have in your hands as you leave that program. So check those both out. The information is on the screen. It will be in the notes as well. You can also find it at beautifullyblooming.com. I really am so glad that you were here. Just remember, Mama, that we want you to be happy and you want to be happy. These are the things that you need to do. Find that dopamine, check yourself, and reflect on some of the things that you may feel like you don't fit, maybe you don't feel like you're wanted, but what season are you in? Check it out, reflect on it, and move forward. Get the dopamine, the endorphins, and jump on the 60-day hard challenge with me. And we will talk to you soon. Have a great rest of your week and have a great week next week. You are listening to the Mindset Bloomcast with Mallory. I am your host, Mallory McGary. I'm the founder and CEO of Beautifully Blooming. You can find me at beautifullyblooming.com or email me at mallory@beautifullyblooming.com. You are listening to the WGSN-DB Going Solo Network radio, TV, and podcasts, the #1 internet talk network. And I'll see you guys soon.